about gangs, rapping about oppression, we rapping about pain. I'm rapping about all that. I gotta share the blame. They rapping on the contract, they rapping for the fame. They rapping in the slave deal, we clapping while they hang. Dance, nigga. Can y'all make some fucking noise?
Hey,
It's been a rough day. I got here early.
not
Sound
really.
wasn't
We
right,
have been here
but we
early though.
here.
We've
We
been
made
working.
it. Can I get a yee?
Yee!
Back.
All
Can
right,
I go up? What we doing?
all right.
Oh shit! Can I hear it? It's
Time to get to work.
different.
Let these people roll in.
Yeah.
We live,
I
y'all.
said 10s,
What's
20s,
poppin'?
50s, 100s.
Sir?
Welcome.
Nigga, let me count this money. 10s, 20s, 50s, 100s. I'm finna go invest this money. What time is it? It's time to go get that bag. Ooh, these niggas thinking I'm a rap star. Bitch, I'm a hustle like my dad. Oh shit, I need stop, see, check, go. Made $250,000 in my neck, ain't troll. Seen a bigger picture and I hit my pole. Made it off ye back. Y'all niggas all got the game fucked up. Wonder how you sleep with your name fucked up. MC with a hammer, boy, they can't touch us. Fuck who at the top. I don't see nothing when I drop. Quarantine got the city on lock. Good rap, sing, and I even make my write books and I even sell stock. Bitch, I need 10s, 20s, 50s, 100s. Nigga, let
So
me
y'all
count
get that commerce,
this
the equity
10s,
versus
20s,
commerce book
50s.
for sure. We about to get in
I
on
said
that.
10, 10, 20, 20.
Appreciate all y'all
100.
tuning in with us on this Sunday.
Nigga,
You know,
let me
y'all
count,
week where y'all here with us.
10, 10,
I
20,
for sure appreciate y'all. Everybody who's been rocking.
Hey, I said, nigga, time is it? It's time to go get that.
Got a couple of
These niggas thinking I'm a rap star. Bitch, I'm a hustle like my.
You know, we just shoot the tempo.
I need
Good
stop,
energy,
T,
good money
check,
vibes.
gold. Made $250,000 in my neck, ain't froze. Seen a bigger picture and I hit my pose. Made it off ye back. Y'all niggas all got the game fucked up. Wonder how you sleep with your name fucked up. MC with a hammer, but it can't touch us.
D, what you got to say?
Fuck who at the top.
I just want to say greetings, everybody that's tuned in right now. I just want to say thank you to the ancestors for this opportunity. We are here, we are alive, and we have something to show the world, something to give the world, and more to give the world. It's equity versus commerce.
Hey, bitch, I need 10s, 20s, 50s, 100s. Nigga, let me count this money. 10s, 20s,
I'm
50s,
hyped right along
100s.
with you, bro. I'm here
go
with
invest
you.
this money. Can I get
All
a
right.
yee? This is lovely.
What's going on, Chris?
Shit.
It is all right.
What we doing?
Cause we got it. I
Oh,
stopped after the song.
shit.
All right,
Hey,
after this
y'all.
song.
Oh, shit.
It's a good day.
Oh, shit.
It's a great day.
9 on the dresser. That's how I deal with the pressure. We keep a ruler for desperate measures. This is high octane.
Listen to
GC,
the
honey,
lyrics,
let the
though.
Crocs play. So much flavor, I need
It's the
a
reason why we playing.
5K and XRP. Shout out to blockchain. Give me 2 years, I'll buy the whole. Name ring bells, it look like somebody drop change. That bitch ass poking out like the rock veins. Bitch, I'm on 10 now. Everybody wanna be my friend now. All that bro shit like we can now. I can smell a fake nigga from a mile away though. Could get you
We
rolling
are
stressed
having
out.
class tonight. We
Remember,
are
I was
having
8
class
garage playing G-Lo.
for the
Now I
private
get some bread
mastermind
over bread like mayo. I'm still here with niggas I started off with. They ain't even give me a wick. I started Benjamin Button, nigga.
Started off sick.
What is that to do now? With a red bone, get it blue down.
All right, let's pause this. Stop share real quick. All right, formal introduction time. Peace. Welcome to Walking. What's going on, everybody? I am DJ Bay, Trust Fund Baby CEO, Prince of Hemp on Instagram, D Jones Bay on Facebook. Check my linktree /DJ Bay. And also, I am the founder of the DJ Bay Mastermind. And you can currently find the Equity versus Commerce book on that particular website and on Brother Bahati's linktree right now. So, I must say that's my introduction with and I also want to introduce my brother Bahati Bay, also my co-author with the Equity versus Commerce book. Please introduce yourself, bro.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Bahati Bay. A lot of people know me. I'm from Saginaw, Michigan. Mixed martial artist. Lived here for over 20 years. A lot of inspiration, a lot of hardships, but I'm here to deliver a message, and that message is going to go in these ebooks. The message is going to go in these books because I've personally, anybody who's known me, that's been on social media, I've been banned on quite a few social media websites. So now I'm taking everything that's in here and putting it into a book, so you all can receive the message that needs to be received.
Oh, and one more shout out to Divine Creations. They did send me a couple gifts over the holiday, and I got them. And I really love them and appreciate them. Actually, they are doing some really dope things with their company. They are taking their artwork and they're actually putting it into jewelry. So this is actually custom-made artwork in some of the pieces that I'm rocking right now. And I haven't really seen that approach from nobody within our community, so I for sure want to give them a shout out. Check them out on Facebook, Divine Creations. If you need the tag, shoot me a message. I'm actually gonna share the post and like support them because it is a great brand. It's a great product, and you know I can't wear just anything. So like I think it's dope, and it's rare and it creates value, and that's the type of things that we like to teach within this community. But also, brother B, Bahati, you have a particular story. And before we really get into the book and our current events, I kind of want you to break into, you know, like your situation and how fortunate, because like everybody has their own life story and they walk that they go through. And you yourself are fortunate to be here with some of the health hurdles that you have had to overcome. And I know that has been part of your motivating factors behind you wanting to do some of the things that you do in the community as far as putting out the ebook, helping people with court cases, and like even sharing the information that you share on social media, because of the way, like when your life is almost taken from you, you feel like you have a responsibility or you have to do something with your life, because I've also went through similar situations. So could you please expound?
I expand on the health issue really quickly. A couple years ago, I was going through a serious health problems where I was unable to digest food, cancer, pancreatic cancer, cyst on my kidneys, cyst on my pancreas. What else I had? I had a list of a bunch of other crazy stuff that I thought was just completely bogus that I didn't think would happen to me. But it happened to me because I was eating excessively. I was eating from my emotions, and I was going to bed with food on my stomach. Wasn't allowing my digestive system to properly digest. When it's time to sleep, it's time to sleep. It's time for your body to reset, not sleep and your body continue to try to break down food. Well, it was a negative side effect to those things I participated in. And before you know, I found myself in a hospital. Doctor came over to me with like, here's your list of diagnoses. We ran these tests on you. We seen the cyst on your pancreas. We see cyst on your kidneys. And I cried about it. I cried because I'm like, you know what? I'm probably going to die. But I got home. I thought about these things. And I made a decision. I made a conscious decision that I want to live. So I took the natural remedy. And I contacted some individuals, some close brothers. Some of them might know them through Facebook. One brother named Rambo, another brother named Unc. These brothers are very specialized in herbs. They sent me some herbs. They put me on a strict diet, and that diet is very simple. 3 days, water, straight water fast, and the remaining of those days in your time, you will be on an all green diet to allow your body to reset. You need chlorophyll. We're like beings. We're electrical beings, so we need electrical foods to move. I discipline myself. I continue my working out every day. I did my meditations. I did my qigong meditations, my breathing techniques. Within 6 months, I made a full turnaround in my health. I didn't take any remedy from the doctors, no medications. I seen what happens and what happened to my family who goes underneath the care of these facilities and doctors. It doesn't work out in their favor. If anything, their symptoms get worse. I made a decision. I chose the natural route, and the natural route saved me. And with my testimony and what I'm trying to put out to the world, can definitely change some lives out there. So, yeah.
I most definitely appreciate that. I got the green screen on just so y'all can check the book out. Be sure to get this book. This is an interactive ebook. We have templates. It comes with the trust. It comes with the quo warranto template. It comes with definitions of special deposits, and it's really to set the tone for the understanding of what equity is, because it's education that is lacking within our community. And somebody had made a statement before, as it pertains to me on social media. They was like, "Didn't you and Kemet Till get into a disagreement about equity before?" I'm like, "No, I've never had a problem with equity. I had a problem with people being broke. That was always my issue." I'm like, you can't. Equity don't really help you make money. Conducting commerce help you get bread. So you have to understand there's a balance between the two in this fine world. So I was always saying, don't be dependent on a system that doesn't have your best interest at heart in the first place. Establish something for you and your family that you can pass down to your children. I now have 3 boys, and I still want more children. And I have to make sure that I can give them something. I can't give them my status correction. They have their own life. Like, they can inherit the rights and, like our tribal benefits and stuff, but they can't inherit, my social security number account. And they don't, that's not how that system is set to work. Those bonds and instruments are based off of you being a beneficiary. So we just want to make sure that people understand, what it is that's going on. You want to chime in, B?
Nice. Back to the book. Just simply what I've been saying. Like, this is an opportunity for those who wants to learn law, what is fair and how to make money. This is an opportunity for you to go purchase the book. And we, like I said, we're gonna have more books that's gonna be releasing. But what brought me on this journey here was the fact that I'm very competitive. A lot of people know me. I'm a mixed martial artist. I'm very competitive, and in my city,
you ranked in the top 5 in the United States for martial arts.
In kickboxing, I was ranked number 2 in the world 2 years in a row for amateur kickboxing at the IKF in Florida.
That's serious.
Yeah, state champion in kickboxing as well, Arizona state champion.
So that competitive aspect, it led you to how did that roll over into equity and, UCC, status correction, court cases, dealing with judges? Because a lot of people may not know, I just had somebody else reach out to me. I have a couple people reach out to me, because we've been helping people with cases for years, helping people get out of mortgages, all types of stuff. And you've been a part of my team for years. And we initially met in martial arts. We actually fought each other. This is bro is my homie. They've been to the baby showers, everything, family, and our introduction was us banging. And I tell this story sometimes, he wild as hell, bro. In the middle of the fight, he tried to backflip on me. He turned his back and tried to backflip to kick me. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I just closed the gap, and I was just it was so quick. It was that shows that competitive spirit when you have to dig that deep and pull something out. And he made me really move fast, and we still operate in that same capacity till today, because even when we're developing the book, it's not really competition, but it's more so we know how to be a team and accompany each other, and we also discipline through martial arts. So, but it is if I'm gonna drop this, he want to drop this, so it can be this good. So it's this is out of all of the books I've wrote, the 15, this is the best book that I have, and and the one that comes after the status correction book is going to be better than this one. And if I'm not getting better, what am I doing? Every book, this should be better than all my old books, in all honesty.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's the road.
I'm about to say, you want to get into the current events though, because I know you had a couple things that you want to talk about.
Sure, we can touch on Mr. Andrew Tate for a moment.
All right, because we'll explain through equitable aspects and some things, how some of these things take apart. Because even with the current situation, like with the YSL situation, I've been explaining to some people, and it's not my expression or my take on the situation isn't popular because a lot of us, we come from, you know, urban areas or what people call the hood, and then we have code in these particular areas. So when I say an individual didn't snitch on, when I say Gunna didn't snitch on Jeffrey, which is Young Thug, a lot of people don't agree with that because they feel just because he made the statement that YSL is a gang that he openly came out and snitched. No, and because he also said he was in a vehicle and he said the drugs and the firearm specifically was not his. That does not mean he directly snitched on Jeffrey because people don't understand the law. They actually turn against the other individual. Because you remove yourself from a situation doesn't automatically implement another person, especially when it comes to drugs and firearms. If it was not found on the person, proximity does not automatically implement guilt. So you got to understand the system. You feel me? Because people's lack of understanding of law, they dislike this man because he's protecting himself, and he still did not technically snitch on anyone. It's just they didn't like the way he went about it because it went against street code. But all these people in the street, they're not going to feed your family. They're not going to put out your albums. And they're not going to press that bunk with you while you in jail. They're not going to put no money on your books while you locked down or anything. So, in all honesty, F the streets. And that's just like, the streets don't take care of nobody, because if the streets was beneficial, we would be in a much better position as a people, because the streets is such a big part of our community. So we have to change the paradigm. That's the reason why we make these books, so that we actually can implement them into, like the education systems. Like, we're directly putting these books into school systems so that these things can be taught in an earlier system within, like, to our children. You said it's called dry snitching. Yes, and see, that's the street mentality. And like, I understand but once again, proximity does not automatically implement guilt. So by you removing yourself from the situation, this is why y'all gotta read the books.
Yep. That's why we dropping it where we dropping, because we miseducated, we misinformed, we assume things, and assumption gets you in trouble.
No, but see, I'm from the west side of Detroit. Bro is also from Michigan, and like, we come from areas like, bro, I'm from Schoolcraft. I know exactly what time it is. But also, I feel like if us as a people, if we had a different mindset as it pertains to statutes, codes, universal law, equity, if an individual is protecting themselves and they also have an attorney who is telling them the ins and outs of the situation, same way how we advise people and contract them what's in their best interest when they are operating as a beneficiary of a trust. Like, somebody told him what was the best route in order to save himself when everybody else took pleas too. I'm just saying, it's an interesting paradigm, but this is why we get into this type of information, because it's beneficial to have these conversations. And then we got the Andrew Tate situation, so let's shift screen. Let's get to it. But yeah, I appreciate the comment, Benji, though, for sure. I don't feel no way. I ain't on stand. I ain't telling no goddamn buddy. Anything I did by my damn self. Right, I'm just saying, I'm young and I learned, baby. Like, hey, like, that's if you're gonna do something, if you're gonna do something, you should do it by yourself, because the only person who can tell you then is you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey.
Hey, that's called being an adult, making adult decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Andrew Tate, Romania court extends police detention for an influencer and brother. So, are you up to date on the Andrew Tate case?
I'm pretty up to date.
Okay, so break it down. What's going on, and from a equitable or in a commercial standpoint, what it is that we're looking at, and do you think Andrew Tate is like looking at time based on these charges?
Well, I'm gonna say this, and a lot of people don't know really who he is, but he's a social media influencer. He's a businessman, and and he influenced young and older gentlemen and women to get their life together in a positive manner. Some people don't like the way he comes off because it's aggressive. Listen to the message. The man is giving a message. So when somebody has a strong message at his magnitude, then there will be some type of force that will come in and try to suppress that. that's what a lot of celebrities that's out here today, and individuals that's speaking truth, and you have energies out there that don't want that truth to be heard. And this is what this gentleman has been doing, is spreading truth, and there's energies that don't like that. Now, with his
what they call it, what my man's called him the other day, I heard somebody say the untouchables. I'm like, what the untouchables? These people, the untouchables. You can get touched. Everybody can get touched. What you talking about?
They go by many names. But supposedly he was accused of running a sex trafficking ring. Supposedly.
Okay. Right here, the pair have been held since late December in Romania. Police investigation allegations of rape and exploitation, and they say they deny all allegations against them. As of now, no charges have been brought against the brothers yet. They have not been charged. They have not been yet had a chance to plead guilty or not guilty. So as of now, they just are in custody. And also, Tate is a former kickboxer. So, also Andrew Tate, we could run some of them clips. They kind of wild, bro. But like Andrew Tate, he done been out saying some things you necessarily don't want to say on camera about some of the way he moved with women.
Yeah, I will agree with that. I will agree.
And then Brother Charles said USA set him up. It's all inside shot. I only laugh because I agree sometimes. Hey, I don't know which country it was, but hey, I know fam be down here in Miami with us tearing shit up. Because that was my introduction to Andrew Tate, was Fresh and Fit podcast. Good God.
Okay.
So that's actually, they shoot that down here, and this is when they had all these young girls who can be found down here in South Florida and Miami, who some of them don't really have high standards or quality of living or morals. I'm not saying this is all women. These are the majority of the women that they had on the podcast. So he would be dogging them out in the Kevin Samuels like style, and it would just be it would be intriguing to watch sometimes. But that was what really triggered some of his fame here, even though he already had wealth before that. And based on him having all of these women around, like, we look at these situations, like when I hear like sex ring trafficking, like names like in the melanated community, I always look to our people, like when have these type of things come up, and then I look to, like, I remember the Dr. York stories, and then these are a lot of witnesses came forth and said this and said that, where these particular cases, just in comparison contrast, they're lacking all of these different accounts as of yet. So I don't really feel like the court has a strong argument as of yet. And
is it like, the state? Is it the state that's bringing charges?
It's Romania. It's Romania, whole different set of laws and rules and regulations, bro. Mm-hmm. And apparently they take the sexual misconduct stuff very seriously over there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what else we got? The layoffs. The layoffs is crazy right now. So
oh boy,
we're gonna talk about the economic aspect. So let's get into the economy. Share screen real quick on the stock markets, because there has been a plethora of layoffs, and depending on where you work, there are going to be more. So Google employees scramble for answers after layoffs hit long-term and recently promoted employees. Tenured and recently employed. So that is actually very, like, just imagine you've given a company over 10 years of your life, you set in, you have you locked in with your insurance policies, all of this stuff. You think you're gonna retire with this company. I used to work for Google when I was younger. A lot of people don't know that about me. And I still mess with computers and code and everything to the day. Google was a decent job. I'm not a factory worker. I don't like sitting in those type situations. So, but I do understand the benefits and things that like companies like Microsoft, Google, and Apple offer, and for them to be given, like, going through all these layoffs, even Facebook, what does that mean for the lower tier business models? If these trillion-dollar brands are struggling, they're struggling because people aren't putting money into their businesses, because these people aren't making money because they're not employed, or their jobs are struggling and they have to have layoffs or cutbacks. So clearly there has been an aspect of quantitative tightening within the United States economic system, meaning that they've stopped printing more money and they've actually burned more in order to cut back on inflation, in order so that they can actually start to settle the things that they've been screwing up for a long time, because it's not nothing new. And we've actually been, you can look at the economic charts. You can't see it right now, but you can look at the economic charts and you can see that we've been in this period for going on almost coming up into 3 years now strong. We've went 2 years bad quarters consistently. That's considered a recession.
Yep.
So we're in a recession and it's not going to get better. So when we talk about solution-based systems, when we dealing in equity and commerce, one thing that we could talk about is peace. What's going on, Roland? One thing that I have been presenting to people, because we've created a DAO for some of the mastermind members and people who just in the network. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, and it's pretty much, it operates like the way the United States should operate. Everyone has equal voting rights and say so in shares and whatever it is that they put time and energy into. So based on all of you all's energy, you put an equal amount based on your social security and birth certificate being put into this economic system in order for them to generate a certain amount of wealth on this stock market, which we just seen. Because all of these instruments are being traded. You can track it on Fidelity. I used to share my CUSIP number and my bond back in the day, and I used to let people see how much my shit was worth. I flash it every now and then, but just like, these are things that through almost 10 plus years of education, I've been able to actually leverage and come across people who have also been in positions of being able to do special deposits and tap into these particular aspects of the accounts, but it's only based on them being knowledgeable, them going through the proper channels, not being paper terrorists, and also having a good economic understanding, because you cannot disrupt the United States economic system when you learn this information. It's already in a bad position, and it is a debt wealth system. So you have to understand what it is that you even plan with. So, you got something you want to say? Something, B?
You hit that right on what Billy say. Inflation is a scam to steal family wealth.
I fucking agree with you. I fucking agree. Inflation is not it, because it's if you print the money, you also create the aspects of inflation.
There we go.
So it's like, you literally are supposed to control the supply and the demand when you control the treasury. And we look at systems like Swiss. They don't print money. They printed a certain amount and they left it in circulation. That's it. So if it leave out their country, it's gone. When it's gone, it's gone. They don't print no more. And that's also why they are one of the wealthiest countries around. And they also have a good gold reserve. And so just understanding what is going on. And last night, I actually took out the time to read the Stamp Act in its entirety. And this is just something that I want to bring to people's attention, because, and ChatGPT is a big thing right now. For any of you who don't know, it is an AI system, artificial intelligence, and you can literally, it's called prompting. Prompting is presenting certain aspects of questioning so that you can get responses back. So think about it as like a brand new baby that develops really fast, like right in front of you, like from infant to teenager to adult to genius, depending on the way that you educate it based on the questions. So I'll say, I'll make it plain. I'm like, how do I make a t-shirt brand? Well, I'll be like, what is a good t-shirt company? Okay, how do I build a t-shirt company like that? What are the steps that I need? Can you describe them with an outline? Boom. And then can you break down every one of these 7 points that you gave me in the outline one by one specifically? Boom, 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 boom. So I prompted it to get more educated about what it is that I wanted specifically. So this particular artificial intelligence can be utilized in order for you to do a lot of things. It's very new. So even like the integration of ChatGPT, that company has right now they have a $19 billion valuation, and this is a brand new company.
Whew.
But the integration of these particular things. So I went on ChatGPT and I was asking it particular questions about the Stamp Act. Even though like I have my own research, but I like to understand, because the AI, it scrapes, it sources information from all over the internet. So it's like Google, but on steroids. So, and just so you can have an idea of what ChatGPT is, it is what they call an artificial intelligence. It is a natural language-based system. And just so you can understand what similar artificial intelligence systems are, Cortana, Alexa, Google Assist, and then also Sophia, which is the robot that they made back in 2016 with the facial expressions. All of these are artificial intelligence models. So they have one that you can have on your phone right now. So I was asking you particular questions about the Stamp Act, and it said the Stamp Act was established in 1765, and it was based on the British colonies. It was based on Britain taxing the British colonies in the Americas So it was literally implemented as a taxation. So they had to pay certain amounts in order to legitimize any form of documentation, paper, parcel. That included certificates for college degrees, any legal documentation, anything, any and everything that had paper had to have a stamp on it from that particular time. And then, because they had such a hard time implementing, they repealed it in 1766. So then I asked, it's the way that you ask the questions. I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, is a stamp considered consideration? And then it said no. And then I turned around and I asked specifically, was a stamp considered consideration during the time of the Stamp Act during 1766? And then it said yes. So a stamp is consideration. So you have to be able to also prompt. I just wanted to drop that little tip on with y'all, because if you understand how the Stamp Act works and also creating value consideration when it comes to equitable aspects, you are tendering something over, and then also understanding the science behind canceling the stamp. But I'm gonna make sure that stuff is in the books though, because these aren't things that you can't just gloss over and like mention. You actually have to read it and learn how to actually apply it. And these are some things that I've learned because we have to go back and ask the questions like, where did it come from? You feel me? So even though everybody are using the stamps, I want to know the science as to why is this even allowed to be applied in this aspect.
Why is a stamp considered consideration?
That is important. So your aspect of prompting and questioning, this is a level of research that can be beneficial to all of you all who are dealing in this particular realm, equity and commerce, utilizing ChatGPT in order to answer questions that you may not be able to ask some of these goofballs on YouTube, because they're going to try and charge you for every piece of information. But now you have an AI, you got a robot on your phone and on your computer. So you can go to openai.app, Google it, or just Google ChatGPT. It's free. It's free for you to use. Super beneficial. Don't be scared of technology. You all use it anyway. It's just the more that we learn to manage and control it and be aware of what's going on, we can prevent the things that people have fear about happening. But the more that people disassociate themselves from it, we allow iRobot situation to happen. Will Smith wasn't wrong for making that movie.
They be telling us, the movies be telling us what's to come, what's already here. Just get ready.
That's a fact. And like I said, with this current economic situation, it's imperative that we put ourselves in a position to where we are acquiring real estate. We're acquiring equity. And when I'm the equity I'm talking about land equity, home equity that can be leveraged off of. So because we just seen all of these layoffs and stuff happening, we also know that there are I don't know, y'all got to start paying attention to what people be saying on social media sometime, because you have literally till the end of the second quarter. A quarter is 3 months. So January, February, March, April, May, June. By the end of June, you're going to see a real estate flip like people haven't seen. It's going to be worse than what happened in 2008 because of COVID. Also, a lot of people who are still in, who are just now hitting foreclosure court because of the COVID relief system, the CDC, they stopped all of that. Now the courts are setting up for evictions and foreclosures. So that means all these people have not paid taxes, and the banks are about to hold a lot of property that they can only control, not own. So all of this can be acquired through tax deeds and tax liens, because the state and the counties are going to hold a lot of this property. So you can literally go through your county land bank or your city land bank, and you can look up the prices it is in order for you to pay the back taxes. And every state, and from what one of my realtors told me, because the state of Florida, the minimum that they have to give you back is 18% interest on an investment. You don't even get that type of money on stock investments sometimes within a fucking year. And your redemption period, depending on the state that you deal in, that's why I keep on saying, depending on the state that you deal in, because the laws are different in every state. So look up the redemption period. This is the specific language. Look up the redemption period for tax deeds and tax liens in the state for your land bank. All right. And then you'll understand how long somebody has in order to pay you back with interest. And if they don't, you then have the ability to acquire the property because you have a securitized interest in it because you paid the taxes on it. So then you can turn around. This is the reason why this shit get imported, right? Because I've been teaching UCC stuff for a long time. And this is when you put the UCC in place, because you have a claim, you keep the receipt for the back taxes, you then do a UCC one, and you affix the collateral, which is the property entity, and you also affix the receipt of your entity paying for the taxes, which shows your interest in the property, and nothing can happen, be transferred or anything. And then you can turn around and take the lien, and then you can go put a new quitclaim deed on file for the property. And instead of just kicking the people out or being a dick, you can turn around and you can renegotiate their rent with them, and you can go downsize it, and then you have just created a residual income, and you already have somebody in your property.
I hear what this man just said. Y'all better say this video,
bro. I'm like, but I've been giving like gems like this for years. It's just what people do it is what they do with it, but it's a lot easier when we move as a network. So when I circle back to the DAO aspect, that was when we were talking about doing that same exact model I just presented to you as a unit. So if people don't have the ability, they don't have a 680 credit score or something, they can't get funded. You may be able to, pull down a little bit of extra bread every couple of weeks or whatever. You drop it into a DAO that holds your voting space for the property. So that means this is how it works systematically. Like, so if this was a smart paper in order to break it down, I would be breaking it. This is pretty much like an AMA Ask Me Anything for the smart paper for the DAO. So the DAO, people invest into the DAO. The money then goes in acquiring tax deeds and tax liens. And then the redemption period is then held by the real estate investment trust, which is the DAO, right? So then they go through the redemption period, and then they either acquire the money back from people paying the taxes plus the interest. So that means the fund just keeps on increasing, and then you can go acquire more. Or then they acquire property. And then once you acquire this property can then be appraised, and then it can be have a set equitable number attached to it. So like I had said it on Facebook, I turned 1,200 into 40,000 because I spent 1,200 on the property, and then it was instantly appraised at 40,000 when I got it without any repairs into it. So I literally could have turned around and put a loan out for that amount, right? So that's literally how that works. So if you have a big equitable portfolio of all of these properties that you've grabbed in all these different states, and they have all these different valuations on it, no company will have a problem loaning you any form of money because you can collateralize this property that you don't even live in. So it won't even affect your lifestyle. And you've acquired these things on pennies to a dollar. But people are more incentivized when they see people moving as a unit. And then this is when I had said, this is when Jay Morrison actually got it right. This is when he got it right, because he came with the group real estate model. It's just the universe wasn't in his favor, in all honesty, because he had a lot of traction. He had the right mindset. I don't know if his intentions was on the right path, but he had a DAO model, and he had group investments in real estate. It didn't go the way that it needed to go. And maybe that's because he didn't have the right financial people around him in order to make sure that the math was mathing, because it didn't math out. But I'm about to say, what else you got, bro? You want to get into this last one?
I want to touch on a topic really quickly.
Go ahead, you got it.
That I've noticed that's been streaming too, and I actually posted it. The article that came out, I'm not sure when this was released, but by the year is projected by the year 2053, the average African American income will be zero for that household.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I post, and this is why we're here, to encourage financial literacy, the importance of acquiring assets, the importance to establishing your own business. your child can't inherit a job. I mean, they could, but is it going to sustain their family? Living paycheck to paycheck, knowing how the economy is going right now, and it's been going. What can you do right now to make sure your family is secure forever and generations to come? That's if you choose to walk that path. It's important that we acquire finances. Period. That's why a lot of families break up.
Was I wrong when I was telling people that commerce matter?
It's very important because
the uniform commercial codes matter.
We engage in this stuff every day, and we don't understand the law, so we think it's just things we're doing when we're really doing business out here. Your name is a business. It's not you, it's a business. If you understand that, then you'll know how to conduct yourself when you're out there.
So that's one of the components that I believe we did get into suretyship into this book. If not this book, I know it'll be into the next one. It'll be a little bit more in depth. But when we talk about this, this is where commerce and equity blend, because this is why it's commerce versus equity, because there's time when it seems like it's a fight, then it's a time where it's like how it's expressed in the book, and then this is like where our martial artist mindset like really locked in, because it's like a yin and yang situation. It's like it works against each other, then it's like super Tai Chi like stuff. Like commerce is beautiful when it's dealing with equity, fam. So it's when we talk about suretyship, this is the relationship that you have as a representative or an agent on behalf of a business model. And when we're talking about status correction or the status correction pertains to you as a living soul, just so that we're clear. But when we're talking about making a claim for your all caps entity, the one that was created in your likeness, you do that through the security agreement, and you're saying that you're operating as an agent, which is suretyship, which is a part of you dealing in an equitable aspect that interjects into commerce. So you're dealing with a trust situation, because that is part of the Sister Q trust, and you're claiming to be a beneficiary of the trust, but also operating as the agent, which is suretyship, so that you can handle the commercial activities which you said you will be taken care of within that security agreement if your documentation is proper. And that's only just the claim part. That's not the correction for you yourself, the living soul, which should be on the public record within the court systems with certain type of copies and all this other stuff. Yeah, if you want to know that, you got to come to the mastermind, because we got, like I said, we got class tonight. Don't forget about it. All my members, we got mastermind class tonight. All right. You got something you want to say, B? Before we get to this last one?
That was good. Go right ahead.
All right, so the last current event that we had up here, it was a couple other things. This is fight stuff, right? Here we go. Oh, I thought this was UFC. This shit said UFO. My bad.
Yo. You funny.
Go ahead, bro.
Ooh, I don't know how I'm gonna touch on this one. Man, what is that? The UFO? Man, well,
hold on.
I'm not gonna say that's false. I'm definitely not gonna say that one's false. That one look that raised a lot of red flags there in my mind. That's not your average looking cloud.
I don't know. I'll be on the computer. A lot, bro. You be seeing how we be generating some of these images and stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I remember the movie.
Then there is that one case.
It looked just like the movie Nope, with by Jordan Peele.
Oh, you said it looked like Nope. All right, yep. So an Army lieutenant was pepper sprayed. Remember that one? So in current news, he was only awarded $3,600. That's literally the type of money I keep in my pocket. That is out of pocket. I'm like, bro,
audacity. But it most likely, I don't know what type of procedure he went through. It sounded like he went through a civil rights procedure.
The lawsuit you said it was a civil rights procedure.
It sounds like that. I'm not 100% sure. for him to be awarded that, and I'm just reading just bits and pieces of the story here. It sounds like he went through a civil rights.
So he goofy.
I wouldn't did that. I wouldn't did that. There's more than one with the kitty cat. I went with the civil rights.
Okay, and then in the book, I have certain principles that, like literally enroll you into equitable principles, and one of them, it literally states being a ward of the states being a ward puts you in equity, but you have to be able to invoke the equity, whether it be verbally or on paper. And shout out to my elder Rob, because he really started pushing this into my head, for real. He was like, read this. He told me to read something a while ago, and then I did not read it. I skimmed through it, and then I sat down one day and I read the whole book. I'm like, I know all this shit. I got all this shit already done. I'm like, I just didn't look at it this way. So when I understood the importance of implementing certain aspects, even though I already had been knowing what trust was and the importance of trust, but it's the protections that come along with dealing in a trust is so important, because everything is in trust here. Every single thing. The United States is in trust with all of the American Indians. They have the Constitution is a trust. You have a trust agreement just being here, operating underneath their citizenship throughout the instruments that you carry. Everything here is you are a trust fund baby already. You were born a trust fund baby. It's just so wild that, damn, don't nobody know. Yep. They say so crazy. They be like, they'll never know. They'll never know. Bro, that's just wild.
No, so whoever's watching, who's tuned in, now you know. You a trust fund.
Yeah, I'm making sure I ain't missing nothing else. No, I'm about to say the other ones, those are some little inside business tips. All right, so you wanna share a screen? You wanna share the book real quick? Yeah. I don't know if I want to share the book. We can share some parts. Share
a little something for.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we can share some parts. Yeah, before we get up out of here, because we ain't about to be long. We just kind of have a good time, not a long time. That's all.
That's it.
It's kind of for a good time, not a long time. You gotta say it in that voice too. Did this load yet? All right. Ooh, let me close that one out. I don't need that one popping up. I have some sauce up there. No, that was some of my notes for this game I'm developing. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't want to share the screen on that. Mm-hmm. That was no.
Too much sauce.
Yeah, bro. They can go back and watch this. I don't need that code showing up. All right. Window.
Appreciate everybody that's tapped in right now, that's listening to this show. This information here is going to put you on a different journey and change your lives.
Benji, I'm gonna answer your question as soon as I come off share screen, bro. All right, everybody can see screen, right? You can see screen, B?
Yep.
All right, so this is the cover. Come on, load up. Thank you. Preface. I'm just about to show y'all some of the qualities in the ebook, because this is an interactive book, and we do got some really dope artwork in here, fam. Super dope. Mm-hmm. So we come over here, we hit template button. It hits you with the woot wop.
Boom.
And then it bring you straight to the templates that you can print off in the ebook that you can utilize right out the gate. So abatement, we got affidavit, we got a whole loan agreement for some business stuff that we talked about in the book, and then we got special deposit language, got a whole trust template in here, and it's a Q warrant in here. So yeah, let's just take it back one real quick. Yeah, we can leave it. So all of that stuff is just, if I'm going to provide something with all of the information that has been out here, you really want to set yourself apart, and you want to make sure that you are giving people value and something that could be utilized. So if you were to get the hardcovers haven't been cleared by the publisher yet, but if you are to get the hardcovers, you literally should be able to write into these instruments yourself, because you'll have a paper format and you can keep the book on your bookshelf, and you'll literally have a trust in a book at your house that your family can keep in safekeeping. So like that's really where my head is at, like locking in transgenerational wealth. You feel me? And then like you can get the templates and all the stuff that people out here charging for and making it very difficult. And more so, I just want when these is decent length books. But I don't know why I did that, bro. It's this thing interactive. I could have just clicked the button. Tripping. I was about to scroll all the way down.
Oh, we got links, y'all.
Yes, I know, right? I'm out here wilding. This book about to load up. I could have just hit the button, bro. I don't know why I'm good. That. Because you already know where I'm about to go. I'm about to take them to the maxims. And then in the when we get into equity, when it lists out those particular principles, those are some key principles to have a good foundational understanding on, because you have a case that you can take to chancellery court, or that you can invoke equity because you meet these particular requirements. Mm-hmm. So understanding the parameters of which you operate in, 12 maxims right here. Boom. So maxims. So got some dope artwork. Main reason why it's artwork associated with the maxims is in order to invoke a certain memory, because our brains remember images. So instead of you just always having to hold these words in your brain or these black and white pages, we made sure that it was intriguing enough in order to keep your interest, and that way that you can relate it. Your brain will actually capture the image along with the equitable maxim, so that you can, correlate what it is that you're looking at and actually learn to utilize it on your own without always having to refer back to these instruments. But that's really it, yo. You feel me?
Oh, y'all gonna enjoy that.
I did say I was gonna answer bro question. If you are a secured party and somebody says they're going to sue you, is it necessary to send them notice of my status? So let's break down your question. If you are the secured party, how can they sue you? Because you are supposed to be the agent or the representative of the debtor. They're coming to sue the debtor, correct? So you then have to you're contracted that you have to protect the interest of the debtor if you have a security agreement in place. Mm-hmm. So then if they're trying to sue you, you need to be responsible and see as to what the suit is for. And if there is a debt, you need to work to either settle it or discharge it if they have a proper claim in place. So you actually need to discover if they have a valid claim before you even start talking about moving any instruments or money around. You got anything to say on that, B?
No, that's very accurate. You need to make sure they have what you just said, a valid claim and not a complaint. And make sure there's really make sure there's a living man that's bringing the issue to you versus another corporate entity.
Oh, yeah. And then also on the mastermind website, which you can see scrolling across the bottom, we also have a funding book that is for $7.77. And it literally teaches you how to get funded, all of the parameters. And I have not gotten it cleared by the publisher yet, but we also have a business plan template that you can use along with you getting funded. So this is a systematic plan that is implemented within our community in order to help people get money, get equity, get real estate, and start changing their family situation. This isn't an overnight thing. It takes time, it takes energy, but how you really are you a selfish prick? Are you selfish in the sense for you everybody? I'm more of the selfish for everybody type kind of guy, even though people think I only think about me. I'm thinking about what can I do for all my people, my family, how can I set them up for generations on out? And with the current economic situation, the only thing that don't go bad is land. Stock markets ain't shit. The bond market ain't shit. Land is still there, and the price is about to flip. So you want to be in a position. You don't want to be reactionary. You want to be in a position to where you can act. Like like shout out to Grandmaster Pillar. He used to tell me, he was like, you don't have to be the fastest. You just need to be first. And like, I watched this old man punch me in slow motions, and like, I'm way faster than him, and he wasn't faster than me. He was first, and that came from him being in the proper position. Understand the game that I'm giving. This is why this book's so dope, dog. I'm telling you, because martial arts with that's fire, bro.
Ooh. Genius.
Oh, I just say, well, bro, outside of that, please support the book, because after we're about to go on a campaign and education, and we also are establishing the Equity versus Commerce course, which will be out first week of February. So that you can also find that on the mastermind as well if you want to enroll in that. I'll make sure that I have all of the information up for you all who are looking to enroll into that, because that is going to set the tone. I really, a lot of my members who already went through the mastermind, they came through there and they're already set to go through the status correction aspect with the Equity versus Commerce course. So it is making sure that you have the proper mindset and education before you just jump into this, because it's not about, just taking money that you didn't really necessarily establish for. It's making sure you have a strong foundation, you got your genealogy in place, because you can't correct your status if you don't know who your people are. And that's one of the key foundation components that I found, even like in my youth, throughout all of the people who I knew who was teaching this stuff. None of these people was telling them people to figure out who your family are, figure out where you came from, figure out what treaties and what lands are, if your family ever even got on a boat. Are you dark-skinned Moors who came over here and then intermixed with Indians? Are you American Indians? Like, are you Quakers? Are you Spaniards? Like, what region is your family from? Because that matters, because you have protections underneath the Supremacy Clause, Article 6, Clause 2 of the United States Constitution. Treaty is the supreme law of the land. If your family have treaties in place here, you have protections. And then also, when you start going through your genealogy, my family own a large portion of Alabama, Tennessee, and New York, New Jersey, and Delaware. So those are, as an heir, I hold inherit land rights forever. So do my children. Understand what transgenerational wealth is and how you pass it down. But you can't enroll into it if you don't know about it. So genealogy, you can't correct your status if you don't know where you come from. I'm going to tell you that first off. Because what are you correcting? You're picking up another misnomer that you possibly have no attachment to. And this is no disrespect to anybody who partakes in any form of moral science, but broad statements is what got us into this situation as a whole right now. You feel me? Because you're saying that we all were slaves when a lot of our families never participated in slavery, or some of our family owned slaves. Like, that's dangerous. Saying that we all are just one group of people is also blanket statements that are dangerous. Figure out your story. This is your walk. This is your personal correction. And these things will help you to not run into any bullshit like a lot of people have ran into that we're not going to mention right now. And it's going to be smooth. It's going to be a smooth transition. You got something to say, B?
Nah, brother. You hit it all on the nail.
So, the funding book, Equity versus Commerce, business plan, and then we got the series part 2 coming out. Oh, and shout out to my brother, Dr. Jamar. He was just in Davos doing big things. He bumped into the EYL brothers. And for those of y'all, go check out that interview with Dr. Jamar on the American Healer podcast with Dr. Inky. That's also my other podcast partner. So, American Healer on YouTube. Check out the interview with Dr. Jamar Montgomery. He is the brother who went to the Kanye West dinner. Like, him and Kanye, he worked in the Donda School of Systems. He's actually a politician who ran for Senate in the state of Louisiana. So and then the reason why I mentioned Davos, because he was over there at Davos. Davos is the World Economic Forum. Bro, Fat Joe was at Davos. Dougie Fresh was at Davos. The EYL brothers was at Davos. Jamar, quadrillions. Do you understand what that means? As melanated people, we're taking an interest in our economic climate. Like us being at Davos is so important just because of the connections that bring. The wealthiest people in the world go to the World Economic Forum. People literally go out there to fund their communities, countries, and business operations. So just having people who are even thinking on that level and are working on that level is very imperative to what it is that we're doing as a nation for all communities, whether you're Moorish, Hebrew, American, Indian, Hotepan, whatever. If we got the same complexion, it's beneficial for us. So with that being said, you want to close out, bro?
The only thing I want to say is thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for supporting us. We appreciate you all very much. The book is on sale. It's on sale. I will post the links in my bio and on my page. Go get the book, y'all.
Well, all right, peace and love. Y'all have a great day. We about to go back to this good music. While y'all slowly roll up out of here, fam.
Turn up.
Sugar free and juice now. I be going too dumb. Boy, I play like I'm down 2-1. Finna blow up like I'm too young. I've been eating ramen, meditating, trying to reach common. Amongst mere mortals, I'm a shaman. Highly uncommon. These rappers acting like common. Nothing else really wrong with common. We can take a break now. We just need a one. I put an ace down. 9 on the dresser. That's how I deal with the pressure. We keep a ruler for desperate measures. This is high octane. GC hoodie, left the Crocs playing. So much flavor, I need a blockchain. 5K and XRP.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be doing this a lot more. This is a whole podcast, just so y'all know. All right. I just have to make sure I said that. Peace and love. Peace and love. Hey, bro, drop your info in the trap beat.
Even if I was blind, niggas fixing their classes like I see it too. Smoking the pergolas with theater. She see me at my worst, she cheering as I get better. We in the Croc store, I'm talking about get whatever. Of course a nigga cheesing, I'm really getting this cheddar. I'm shipping gold cars, I'm even licking the letter, you feel me? If this was 96, they would've killed me. PSA to NASDAQ, it's a new stock in town. Tetris with the neighborhood, I turned the whole. I ain't got a front, we making millions from the backyard. We been killing them softly, they still trying to act hard. I don't need the industry me. They worry about followers. Crazy how I look now, finna retire pops. He just make merch and cook now. Turn down a motel, turn down a rock tool. Sold $1 million gold card, sold $1 million stock tool. Looking in the mirror thinking, damn, what would Pop do? Man, what would Hov do? Man, what would Pops do? We ain't had to stage it, we built our own stages. I got niggas flying to the V like it's Vegas. They been popping Percocets, I've been building pergolas. They gon' have to Google it, they ain't never heard of one. I've been playing Monopoly, collect when they land on my property. I don't see nobody stopping me. I've been splitting pie up like 1.57. They not even in my radius. Call some whole vein, he telling me I'm the greatest. You already late if you need to know the latest. DM from your bitch, she telling me I'm a favorite. Your album just dropped. Kept that shit 100 till I turned blue. The fire look cool till it burn you. The industry have fooled you all. These niggas ain't big, boy, they clothes just small. Me and y'all planning on investing in the schools. Could've went private, but then we all lose. I'm so far away, it's hard to tell who's the fools. You can use the sword as a weapon or a tool. Ran a year straight and I'm still in the zone. I don't even wear a cape, but I'm a hero at home, huh? Can I talk my shit?
Hold up.
I love it. Woo! You know what? Can we do that one?
That's my Facebook. That's my YouTube. My
From here to Minnesota, Bo-O's, you can smell it all in my odor. So weed, nothing big, a couple quotas. Been a boss, wasn't selling it on the cone, I hit it well. Never knew I did it well. Double bag, vacuum that didn't smell. Me and Killer, doing shit that I couldn't tell. I'm here now, always told you I wouldn't fail. Boss now, I'm looking like Ross now. From the north, but they slap it across. My style, too clean, not too wild. Bling loud, gold shine when I need a big house. Moonwalking on my towel. Hella hoes, bitches walking with no towel. Just kidding, this is all for my child. But then again, I get a meal, I might wow. Fuck it, if they love it. I'm independent, nigga, I ain't got no budget. I said fuck it, if they love it. I'm at fucking Hero Day with no budget. Nigga, fuck it, if they love it. I'm independent, nigga, I ain't got no budget. I said fuck it, if they love it. We at fucking Hero Day with no budget. Can I get a yee? Yee! It's beautiful out here. The sun setting and shit. How y'all
all right, one more song and I'm cutting it on you.
That's lovely. Ooh, ooh, hey, hey, can I talk my shit? Black boy, go get your shine on. Could do anything you put your mind on. They probably can't do it if they ain't do it. Trying to convince a nigga who done did it. They said I couldn't get this far without a distro. Finna go platinum like Cisco. Made it from the backyard. I'm still in this bitch. Childhood home, I was still in this bitch. Went through it, I can tell you how to do it. Niggas look gas, I can tell you how to flew it. Made it this far off work. 100 off merch. Super color for the transfer on the shirt. You know what I'm worth, baby. You ain't.
This the right song to leave on.
Yup.
Do y'all hear? Like, you know that beat starts slapping and you be.
What he said?
I said,
Bars.
black boy, go get your shine on. Could do anything you put your mind on. They probably can't do it if they ain't do it. Don't let them niggas lie to you. They probably can't do it if they ain't do it. Can I get a yee? Yeah. I said, black boy, go get your shine on. Could do anything you put your mind on. They probably can't do it if they ain't do it. Trying to convince a nigga who done did it. They said I couldn't get this far without a distro. Finna go platinum like Cisco. Made it from the backyard. I'm still in this bitch. Childhood home, I was still in this bitch. Went through it. I can tell you how to do it. Niggas look gas. I can tell you how to flew it. Made it this far off work. 100 off merch. Super color for the transfer on the shirt. You know what I'm worth, baby. You ain't gotta go into your purse. You can set your own pace with your purse. Got it out the dirt. Probably find mud in my hearse. It's priceless. I tell you what it's worth. All-terrain Crocs in a GC shirt. That's my uniform, bitch, I'm finna go to work. All-terrain Crocs in a GC shirt. That's my uniform, bitch, I'm finna go to work. Black boy, go get your shine on. Could do anything you put your mind on. They probably can't do it if they ain't do it. Hey, I said, black girl, go get your shine on.
Okay.
Could do anything you put your mind on. They probably can't do it if they ain't do it. Trying to convince a nigga who done did it.
Peace, everyone. You all have a great day.
Yeah,
I'm about to be ready for my next one.
Peace, love, y'all.
Come on.